Welcome to Careless Whispod, the podcast where you may be right, we may be crazy, but this just might be the podcast you're looking for.
Wow. Inspiring stuff.
Woo!
I am Gary.
I'm Jeremy.
And today we're here to talk to you.
Do you know what? Before you go on, Gary, sorry to interrupt.
Please interrupt.
Jeez, it felt like that introduction just took the longest time, didn't it?
The longest time. Well, it's funny you should say... Oh, wait, you did it on purpose.
Yeah, see?
Because we're talking about The Longest Time by Billy Joel.
Billy Joel's The Longest Time.
But you said...
Yes, I said it.
Yeah. That's clever.
Welcome. Have you had your biscuits this morning?
That's really clever.
Have you had your biscuit?
No.
Can someone get Gary's biscuit?
I need my biscuit.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. So welcome back, Cotter. We're not doing TV
We're not
shows.
doing TV yet.
Stay tuned.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited that this week we'll be doing one of my favourite artists.
As I can see, yeah.
Well, you keep insisting that we do this without pants. I'm not 100% sure why that is necessary. Well, I suppose it's a nice, natural feel.
You never put up a fight, so I keep getting away with it.
Billy Joel's The Longest Time.
Oh, yes. Classic hit.
Now, I've got a feeling that a bit of Jilly Bowl might pop up again because guilty as charged. I think I've just pretty much put every song he's ever written on the podcast. That's
I think,
on the playlist.
Yeah, I think it would be our duty to cover a little bit more BJ in upcoming episodes. Everyone
can do with a little bit more BJ in their life.
I know I could. But he could be the subject of his own podcast.
Without
basically.
a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
In the lead up to this episode, I was actually watching a whole bunch of Q&A sessions that he did.
Yeah, he did those for a while at colleges and stuff like that. Yeah.
And
he's
those are great. Those are really
He's a very engaging public speaker.
He is.
He's very funny.
He doesn't take much bullshit. He can be a little bit abrasive sometimes, but he's very well spoken. Maybe he should be hosting instead of me because I'm stumbling over my words here.
I actually did get in contact with him to do that.
He said no.
Oh, he told me to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, on the
Longest Time, the fourth single off the 1984 album An Innocent Man.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little bit of background? Where is this sitting? Again, set the scene, Gary. Where's this sitting in the BJ oeuvre?
Well, I guess I could start with a little bit of background on Billy Joel, just to the lead up to An Innocent Man.
I mean, we shouldn't really have to tell the listeners who Saint Billy Joel is.
The mighty Billy Joel.
But we'll give you a little bit of background.
The mighty BJ. If you don't know who he is, then you probably shouldn't be listening.
Yeah,
to this
really. I kind of really...
Because we're going to balls it up. Anyway, he has a long and storied career, basically. He started, early 60s, around 65. When he was a teenager, he saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show.
And that was it?
And that inspired him to become a musician himself. He played in a British Invasion cover band in 65 called the Echoes. Then he went on to play piano on various recordings for a production company called Kama Sutra Productions, funnily enough. So he played on songs for some of the records they were bringing out, one of which was he played on the demo version of Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las.
Did he?
Which became famous, although it wasn't the demo version that became famous. But he played on some of their other songs.
Yeah, wow. Okay, cool.
That got some notoriety. So after a couple more bands and kind of, testing the waters a bit, he signed a record contract. He got a record contract for some solo material. He released Cold Spring Harbor in 1971, which is his first solo endeavor. And because of the mixing, I think it was... and a couple of other elements to it, it was a flop, basically.
Yeah, right, okay.
But then after that, in 73, he released Piano Man, which everyone should know.
What?
It's an album called, I think it was, sorry, let me check my notes.
Piano Man.
Piano.
And that was
Piano
an
Man.
early success for him, was it?
Piano Man. Apparently, it was quite successful. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. No.
But of course, yes. And then, it just kind of took off from there. He had some amazing early albums being like Turnstiles, 52nd Street, Glass Houses, The Stranger, etc., Songs from the Attic, all that stuff. I was a massive Billy Joel nerd for a long time. The longest time. We are. And so I'd kind of read about his history. And each album has a little bit of a story behind it. So I think it's good that we just focus on An Innocent Man.
So Innocent Man, 1984. He'd sort of returned to New York by this stage after being in LA for a while, I think.
He'd just recently been divorced, I believe.
An Innocent Man. And this album sort of plays tribute to his influences, his sort of soul and 50s influences, which we hear all over this record.
So there are a couple of homages that I wanted to mention. His songs are homages to James Brown.
Wow.
Now Pickett, The Drifters, The Supremes, Sam Cooke, and more.
And so that you can sort of hear that throughout this album.
Definitely.
Now, before we go sort of into that any further, this song, I think we mentioned 4 single off this record, 14 on the US Billboard Hot 100.
14, yes.
25 on the UK singles chart, and number 15 in Australia. So probably not one of Sir Billy's highest charting songs.
Yeah, St. Billy has done better, I think, with his earlier songs.
That having been said, it is the only song with the word longest to chart in the Hottest 100, which I thought was a lovely bit of trivia.
There you go.
Now, interestingly enough, Billy Joel does all the vocals on this track.
Yeah, so they were supposed to get a vocal group in to be the backing track for him. And in fact, I think they did bring one in. And just didn't work out.
So Billy thought they were shit.
Yeah. The Lord Archduke Billy Joel didn't find them up to scratch. So the producer Phil Ramone suggested that Billy do it all, and I didn't know that coming into researching this episode. I didn't know that he recorded all those vocals himself. So what a range on him.
I think there's something. I think that actually, and we've spoken about sort of harmonies in previous episodes, but I think that's actually one of the things that makes it so listenable.
Because he's related to himself.
He is actually related to himself. Yeah, that's correct.
That makes sense.
But no, people aren't used to hearing people harmonizing with themselves. That's not something you can do, right? So when you hear that multi-track, there's something haunting, not haunting, but something really like, what? Like you can't, there's something so arresting about that sound, you know? That's what I think anyway, and we haven't even made it to the money shot yet.
So that's a callback to episode 1 of Careless Whispod, where we talk about blood harmonies.
So go and listen to that if you haven't done so already.
We'll wait. No, we're not. Let's keep going.
Producer Phil Ramone, though.
Tell us about him.
A doyen. In the industry.
Wow.
I believe he passed away, I think maybe in 2013. But look, honestly, I only wrote down a couple because it was just so many. He's worked with so many people.
What's a handful?
Very obviously, Billy Joel, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan, Chicago, Harry Belafonte, Dean Martin, Ray Charles, just to name a few.
Jesus.
And that was just a couple of them, you know what I mean? So
he knew his stuff.
He knew his stuff. But Phil Ramone worked on numerous albums with Billy Joel. Should have bloody written down what they were, but he was his longtime producer. Yeah.
And he was the producer of An Innocent Man.
Actually, you know what? As an aside here, there's a great podcast, the episode that I haven't listened to for years. Who is the actor? Oh God, I should have thought harder about this, but he's on. You know him. He's on. 30 Rock, you know, the guy he impersonates Trump all the time now. What's his name?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin did a podcast. Did you ever listen to any of that?
No, never.
He interviews Billy Joel.
Oh, man.
And it's a fantastic interview because as you said, Billy Joel interviews really well.
Yeah.
He's a very good public speaker, so he just talks about sort of the history of a lot of his songs. But he sort of talks about his producers and how much of a hand they actually have in his songwriting. So I can't remember if it was specifically Phil Ramone, but I'm pretty sure it was on The Stranger. One of my favourite Billy Joel songs is Only the Good Die Young.
Sure. Great track.
And so often Billy would bring in the songs, he would have sort of the chords and stuff like that, and he'd sort of play them and the band would sort of play. And I'm just going to say it's Phil Ramone because it's a better story. Sure. Would sort of say, no. And he'd sort of point at the drums, no, play it like this, play it with this feel, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden the song would change and it would ultimately be a hit. So Billy Joel had still written the chords and still written the lyrics and the melody, but the entire feel changed at the behest of the producer. And it sort of, would that song have become as big a hit if that change hadn't been made? Now, The Longest Time was originally written as like a classical piece.
Same with Uptown Girl. Apparently.
Really?
Yeah. I was on one of his Q&As. I was watching. He said he'd written this classical piece and he played it on the piano.
Wow.
And it was the tune of Uptown Girl, but it was like a classical number.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Then he had these lyrics that he had written. Because he was just newly divorced, so he was dating a lot of models at the time. This is just before he started seeing Christy Brinkley.
Now, this song was apparently written for Christy Brinkley, right?
Yeah,
as was Uptown Girl.
The Longest Time was about... But in this Q&A, he said it was more about girls that he was dating, like Elle Macpherson and stuff like that he wrote about.
Just
all these
want you
fancy...
to pause for a minute and think about that.
Tell her about it.
Yes. Anyway.
That's... I gotta learn how to play piano, I think.
Billy Joel, massive weapon. Allegedly. I mean, I'm assuming here. So yeah, that was a little bit of insight there. So Longest Time is about Christy Brinkley, but Uptown Girl was sort of about all the supermodels he was...
Well, yeah, he said it was like an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different people, and Christy Brinkley, Elle Macpherson was one of the main ones that he brought up in that Q&A. Longest Time about Christy Brinkley, and this was about a year or so before they actually got married.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah. They got married on a boat in the Hudson in New York, and Paul Simon was in attendance.
Oh, wow.
As were the Stray Cats. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go. A little
and
bit
you
of
just reminded me to put some of them on the list.
Yeah, good idea. There you go. Some trivia that I didn't know about him and Christy Brinkley.
They remain friends to this day.
There you go.
But again, I literally read all this on Wikipedia, so it could be full of shit.
Do you reckon they're friends with benefits? Or?
Do you know what? I was about to say no.
Yeah.
But then he's dated Elle Macpherson, so I'm not... I don't think we can rule it out. No, he's married again, I think.
Yeah. But,
wow.
Well.
Sir Billy. It's good to be the king.
So Innocent Man was an album of homages to different groups. This one was The Longest Time was a homage to Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers.
Yeah. So it's sort of got a doo-wop feel.
This is something I wanted to ask you about. The Longest Time was one single out of many singles of An Innocent Man. So the singles were Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl, An Innocent Man, The Longest Time, Leave a Tender Moment Alone, Keeping the Faith, and The Night.
Man.
It actually would be quicker to mention the tracks on the album that weren't singles, which were Easy Money, Careless Talk, and Christy Lee.
Yeah.
Why do you think there was so many? Was it just that many good songs on the album, or do you think he was just releasing singles while leading up to a new album? Or why do you think there was just so many? Because it's unheard of nowadays to release that many singles off an album.
You know what? I have no idea, but I suppose he's at the peak, probably like the peak. Because I was reading a sort of quote that...
He's at peak Joel.
He's at Pete BJ. King
I love it when
Billy.
a BJ peaks.
But I read this as well, is like some people sort of consider, like, his albums previous to this were themselves, many were hugely successful.
Yeah.
So a lot of people mark this album as a bit of a turning point in his career, in that a lot of the sort of anger of the angry young man of his earlier albums is perhaps...
The tension is kind of alleviated.
Is perhaps alleviated a little bit in this. And I think it's just probably... I think he was at the height of his popularity.
Yeah.
And again, we're in 1984. I actually don't know if there were any videos for this that were on MTV or anything like that. But he was just at the height of his powers in an era where the music industry was at the height of its.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least moving into the height of its. You know what I mean? Like, you had it was the 80s. It was the age of success. And nowhere was that probably more apparent than the music industry. So maybe it was just the era of Billy fever.
That could have been. I mean, Money for Nothing and Elle Macpherson for free.
Yeah, so... I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I don't know if they were released before the album or they were released...
They were released after. In fact, Innocent Man came out in 84 and... 83. But the single came out in 84.
Yeah.
So I think they were just kind of milking that album until he came out with the next one, which I think was The Bridge or something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter.
The point is, it's great.
A lot of fucking singles.
The one for me growing up, though, I mean, this is a little bit of an aside. Yeah. The one for me growing up, I still get triggered in a good way whenever I hear River of Dreams.
Oh, in the middle of the night, I've been walking over.
Which, hey, that could end up on an episode unto itself, so we won't speak too much now, but I sort of grew up with it, you know.
I love that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'd forgotten what I was going to say. But you mentioned that the people were saying that some of his edge was taken off around this time. A lot of people, I don't think this is accurate, but a lot of people blame in inverted commas his relationship with Christy Brinkley for him losing some of that edge.
Can you imagine being like... I just picture like... at a Billy Joel concert in like that time, maybe a couple of years later, in like a stadium or something, and it's like a Billy Joel die-hard fan, and he's got like a homemade T-shirt that like Brinkley killed Joel. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, disco sucks. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that. Oh dear! Like I imagine that sort of attitude reserved for like really. Sort of, that's like a real metal thing, right? Like we were like that real attitude of, oh man, it's not real metal. It's like, oh, do you like Billy Joel?
I can relate to that. Yeah.
Do you like pre-Christy Brinkley Joel,
pre-CB,
pre-CB Joel, like down in front of his house with a billboard, you know what I mean, a placard. You know, oh dear. Bring back pre-CB, Joel. Vote 1 on pre-CB.
In this podcast, we can assure you we're not just going to cover pre-CBBJ. It's going to be all over the shop.
Pre and post CB eras.
Yes.
Oh god, that was good.
All the manifestations of Saint Billy Joel.
Saint,
Lordy Billy Joel. So let's get on to the music video.
Yeah, what a video.
Oh, one of my favorites. I think one of our earlier episodes, I think it was the Higher Love episode, where we're talking about placements of the videos in the songs that we've covered.
Yeah.
In our favorites kind of thing. And I think this one's going to be very high.
This is up there. This is up there for sure. I mean, Archduke Billy had really outdone himself with this one. But a nice throwback. Director, Jay Dublin.
Jay Dubin, I think.
Jay Dubin?
I think it's Dubin. I think I pronounced it Dublin on the Point Assistance episode. Right.
Also the director of Private Eyes.
Private Eyes by Hall & Oates, which we covered in episode 2.
Which you guys may be familiar with.
So we don't really need to go into him. But let's talk about the performances on this video.
Yeah. Now, the performances, that was his backing band at the time.
I believe so.
So, I mean, this is such a great example of his sense of humor, right? Like, I think Billy Joel, is quite a funny guy.
Yeah.
And also able to take the piss out of himself a little bit,
Sure,
which
totally.
which is super important, especially for an innocent man, you know. So it's at a high school reunion, right?
A high school reunion. In fact, they filmed it. Sorry, give me 1 second. They filmed it at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn.
You went there, didn't you? Yeah. Weren't you dean at the Pratt Institute for a while?
Oh my god, so funny. Oh my god, you got me. Oh. I need some cream for that burn, but until then...
Head teacher at the Pratt Institute.
I just wanted to comment on Billy Joel's only line in the video besides the singing.
He's got those great glasses on, right?
So the janitor, who we'll get to,
in a minute. Yeah.
He's got the glasses. He's got like a bit of grey in his hair, and he's wearing the suit, and he's there all dejected after the high school reunion.
Yeah.
And the janitor's cleaning up. He's like, "Are you gonna be much longer?" And Billy Joel says, "Nah, not much longer." Just like that. And it's some of the worst acting I've seen in my life. He is a brilliant storyteller. He's not a good acting. And that's me saying that.
Yeah.
If you've listened to the Death to All But Metal podcast, I'm not a fucking actor. And I can safely say that he is worse than I am.
Not much longer.
Not much longer. But the janitor in the video, I think you had a little bit of a story about him.
So this is sort of probably a sad indictment on race relations in America at the time, which still continue today. But an interview with, I think, the director?
Yeah, Jay. Yeah.
With Jay. So there was all these rumors that the janitor in the film was like some old 50s doo-wop star.
Yeah, there was all these rumors going about.
There was these rumors going about, but in an interview,
performance.
Jay Dubin says, "No, that's bullshit," he said of the rumors. "This is how that guy gets hired. There was this black guy who got us all this talent on one of the other music videos. I think tell her about it. I remember he used to come into the office all the time saying, 'Hey, you got any work for me?'"
Do you have to put that accent?
No, I was going to go heaps tougher, and then I bailed out at the last time. "Hey, man."
Oh boy, Eddie Murphy making a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. The producer, John Small, said, "No, but I need an older guy who looks like a janitor." And this guy says, "Hey, no problem." He gets on the phone and says, "Uncle Willie, you want to be on TV?" And he says, "Yeah, Uncle Willie will do it." He says to John, "How much?" And John says, $100. He says, "Uncle Willie, I'll make you $50. He took 50 and gave Uncle Willie 50, and that's all I remember about that, he says, which is, yeah.
Now, Uncle Willie, let's just call him Uncle Willie.
Let's call him
I
Uncle
don't
Willie.
have a last name on this guy.
No, Uncle Willie, yep.
What an actor. Holy shit. His performance is incredible. He delivers lines really well.
I would be negotiating for far better deals than $50. That's for damn sure.
Definitely.
Such another example of shysters in the music biz ripping off the artists.
I'm surprised that he didn't do more acting roles after that. But you might remember episode 1 when we were covering I'm So Excited by the Pointer Sisters.
I was there, yes.
You made a very bold claim.
What was that?
You said one of the very best double takes in recorded history.
That's right.
Is in the I'm So Excited film clip. And I'm here to say...
Definitively.
I'm going to defend Uncle Willie and say that his double take was far superior. What do you have to say about that? It's right at the end. The band's in the bathroom. This is for the listener in case they haven't seen it yet. Band's in the bathroom, singing the song. Janitor's outside listening through the door. They come out. They're giving him high fives and straightening up his suit.
That's right.
One of them takes his mop away and uses it as like a microphone.
Yeah.
And Janitor watches them go, looks at the camera, and then does a quick double take, and then back to the camera.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't believe what he just saw.
I think within double takes, there's different genres of double takes.
Sure.
I think Uncle Willie's overall, you know what? I can't argue with that. Uncle Willie's double take is probably up there. But I would put that if there was an Academy Awards just for double takes, that would be nominated for best double take solo performance.
I think.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas,
yes,
the I'm So Excited would be nominated for best supporting double take.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
agree with that. I think we should start this double take awards.
Okay,
ceremony.
definitely. Let's note that down. So, and then at the end of the series, we'll have a winner. It is strange because it is a very visual gag, isn't it?
It is. But
maybe we can cut something together and put it up for the people.
oh, they can go watch it now. We'll wait.
Okay, all right.
I've got nothing to say to you. Oh, you're back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. What a great double take, right? Right at the very end. Yeah, so look, I think that's all I had to say about the music video. Shall we jump into the BJ money shot?
Yes, we should.
Jeremy, what is your favorite moment in the longest time?
I love the whole song. It's so difficult for me to choose a money shot.
I found
here.
it really difficult as well.
Two. I'm going to give you two.
All right.
Is
All right,
the
I'll allow
classic...
But watch yourself, counsellor.
It's a chief judge of Pratt University. There's the classic.
Yes, that's great.
That's a great little riff. But then I also love where he goes up. He goes, "I'll take my chances. I forgot how nice romance is."
You just took my money.
Oh,
shot.
really? That's your money shot? I love that.
Jeremy's always stealing my money shots. And in the podcast. It's crazy.
I just put the mop away too. That's. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, I'd say Uncle Willie is probably my money shot as well.
Uncle Willie's double take. But the whole song, just the harmony.
The whole song
is just so good.
The fact that it's just his voice too, like the backing on that is so well done. It's such range. You couldn't tell just listening to it that it was only him.
Yeah.
The vocals.
The whole song is a money shot.
The whole song is a money shot. You heard it here first, folks. This is an exclusive to Careless Whispod.
Just before we go,
yes,
I wanted to bring up one interesting little tidbit for the listeners.
Tidbit away.
So, while Michael Googling some research this week...
Is that what we're going to call it from now?
Yeah. Michael, when I was on the Michael Googlers...
Sure.
I Googled the longest time facts, or Billy Joel's longest time facts. Mm-hmm. Or maybe... No, I think I just... Googled Michael Googlade the longest time facts. Mm-hmm. And of course, it straight away came up Billy Joel, the longest time video clip came up, and then there was some, it was a little bit... About 3/4 of the way down the first page was facts about urine. And you better believe I clicked on that.
Please tell me what happened.
And I just wanted to... This is just one little tidbit from that website.
You weren't doing this at work, were you?
I was, actually. The world's longest pee, 508 seconds. That's 8.5 minutes.
Wow.
The world record for the longest pee is 508 seconds or 8.5 minutes.
And you'd think that fact came up in Google because you Googled the longest time and it was the longest time someone had peed, but it was actually Billy Joel that peed for 8.5 minutes. So there you go.
It all is a rich tapestry. But you know what time it is, folks.
It's time to choose the next song.
How are we going to do it this week, man?
Man, I'm not sure. Do you have anything?
Yep.
You've got something?
Yep.
Oh, right.
I do actually. Yeah, I've been planning this for a while. Hang on a minute.
Okay. Jeremy's just leaving the room for the moment here at the Careless Whispod studios. Oh, he's going outside, it seems. Narrating his actions. He's just opened the door. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, he's got it.
Thank you. See ya.
Oh, someone was dropping something off for him.
Thank you. I wanted to carry a pigeon.
Yeah, right.
That's
what that is.
Yeah, but
it's not.
They've for some reason there was an issue and they just delivered me a rubber chicken.
Right.
So
I was gonna say it didn't look. I thought it was dead or something.
Do you want to just use the phone?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay, all right, sweet.
It's worked for us so far.
Yeah, sweet.
I don't know why we're trying to add these new little wrinkles every time we do an episode.
All right, okay, all right, okay, fine.
All right, here we go. Next song for Careless Whispod for the next episode coming up right now. Oh shit! One of my favorites.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Baby by Barry White.
Dazak.
And this is going to be excellent.
This is going to be
talk
great.
About Love Unlimited and all that kind of stuff.
Can we call that episode Gaza on Baza?
I think we would be doing ourselves a disservice
if we didn't
call it that.
Oh,
so.
God.
Well, I'm
speechless.
I'm so excited.
Throwback.
So, on that exciting note, I've been Gary.
I'm Jeremy.
And you've been listening to Careless Whispod. See ya.
Bye.